Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Missing the Point. It would normally be an MTP Boston episode, but the other boys are on vacation this week, so we're pinch hitting, and we're going to cover the amazing Wildcard weekend and the Patriots win. I got my guy here, Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan, the holy one, soon to be, and we'll be talking everything. But we're going to start out with the New England Patriots, 16-3, absolute ass whooping of the Los Angeles Chargers. It was a little rocky, but again, Ray, it's a win. We have a playoff win under our belt, the first one since 2018.
Mhm.
Uh, how you feeling? How were you feeling going into that game? Because we were texting. You said you were nervous,
Yeah.
and talk me through your emotions throughout the course of the game.
So, I mean, definitely nervous because obviously, when you're invested, your feelings are different. Um, I believed that they would win. It was just a matter of would it look easy or would it have to be hard? And for many moments of the first half, it looked like it was going to be a dogfight, and it was. But thankfully, the defense said, "Hey, not today." And they were just phenomenal from snap one to snap to the end of the game. So first half definitely was concerned. Um, I didn't like what they called I didn't like their rush integrity. I feel like Herbert got loose a few times when he shouldn't have. But they essentially shut down everything else. So my confidence grew as the game went on. Um, But like you said, the win's a win, and I'm excited that we're no longer in year zero of the rebuild.
That's right. That's right. And for all those people out there saying that we had an easy schedule, like if you want to say that the Chargers were an easy game, I'd say you can go fuck yourselves because any other team, um, that's they. I mean, they won 11 games in the season, and they played in one of the hardest divisions. Uh, what I will say though, just to temper expectations, because I have a lot I want to unpack from this game. Um, if if we want to talk about how extraordinary our defense was, I'm all for it. But we have to do it with the caveat that the offensive line that LA put out was a practice squad offensive line. It was worse than ours. And ours, you and I were talking with the group during the game, like our rookies started to look like rookies. Well, they're unprepared tackles that they had to sub in there because their high paid tackles that they really built in the offseason to protect Herbert were not there. Right.
Right.
That being said, it was interesting to hear that one of the Patriots players said that they were talking to, I think it was Christian Ellis, right? That he heard from other Chargers throughout the course of the game that they had no idea what they were lining up in. Like they had no idea what their scheme was. So, what did you think of the defensive play calling throughout the course of the game?
Um, it was the first time where they didn't ease into the game.
Yeah,
Usually they ease in, team would go up 7-0 or 3-0, then they get their bearings.
yep.
From the jump, they was on it. From the jump. Like dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so soon as the intro music hit, they was ready. And um it was going to be their biggest test in a while, obviously. Say what you will, Justin Herbert, in the regular season, obviously, has done what he's done. But now, he's on the clock too, right? We're going to get into some other quarterbacks that didn't perform well this weekend, but now he's now 0-3. And once again, the talent, it's not like he's not scrub. So I mean, we're not going to sit here and say that and be crazy. Um, but he leaves a lot to be desired in the postseason, and that's putting it nicely. Um, some would say he's just falling in line with what happens in that organization. So whether it's from Dan Fouts, whether it's I don't even remember the quarterback that got smoked in the I think it might have been Humphreys. He got smoked. They got smoked against San Francisco in '94. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Whether it's our guy Doug Flutie, whether what I'm saying, Ryan Lee,
Drew Brees, Philip
yeah, you
Rivers.
name it. Like it doesn't matter. Um, Once again, had very good teams, have had very good teams in that organization. Had got to the Super Bowl a couple of times, AFC Championship games many times, but just when it matters most, they fade into the wind, especially if they got to face a cold weather team. So,
What I liked the most out of it though was, yeah, they brought pressure at the end. Like the second half, they just dialed in blitzes left and right.
mhm.
But even in the first half, when they were getting to him, it was on stunts. Like they were still rushing four.
Yeah.
They were just flooding the zone, and they knew the capabilities or lack thereof of the Chargers offensive line.
Well, but that's why I don't have the caveat that you put a few moments ago. Like I don't care what report was out there. It is obvious they said we'll be okay in New England,
Right.
but their pass rush is not what it needs to be. Period. I get it. Rashawn Slater from Northwest is really good. Joel from Notre Dame is really good, and I think that's going to be a really good tandem for years to come if they're healthy. Firmly believe that. Um, but I firmly believe internally they said, we can get home. We can get by with this line against this team because Landry doesn't get there. Milton Williams doesn't get there. Chase on every now and then may get there, but not really a home wrecker. Well, the home wrecker 97 showed up and earned his check big time on Sunday night. So be careful what you wish for. Uh, you wanted Boston and you got it.
It's so wild to me knowing what they're like, what they lacked on for protection on offense, and that they would they all but chose to play the Patriots, right? I do think that they rested Herbert the last game because he's still recovering from that broken left wrist. Yes, sure. But like they looked at the field and said, you know what? We'd rather lose this game and take our chances in New England, which is again for an organization that has not beat us in the playoffs ever.
Right, ever.
Like, what are you doing? It
Yeah.
didn't matter. Like, yeah, we had Brady, sure, but they had Hall of Fame quarterbacks too. I think Drew Brees, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I think Philip Rivers is gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Um, but what you just mentioned, Milton Williams, when they needed him, I mean, Mike Vrabel, 2 minutes left, go win the game,
Right.
and he fucking did it.
Yep. Could honestly, it spooked me how quickly he got there because I didn't even realize how quick it happened. I looked up, I took a sip of water. It was like boom, and you heard. I was like, oh, he got some. Like wow, like ball game. Wow. That's why my response was delayed. I said, whoa, like I didn't realize he had got to them that quickly. And just a side note, I know he's on a 1 year deal. Regardless of the outcome of this year, you have to bring back Chase on.
Yes.
He's been awesome. He's been awesome. Um, like I just he's been really good, and I think that on days where you may not have Landry next season or whoever it may be, like I just or explains out, like you need that guy. Um, he's been really good for them in a limited role this year. Really good.
Listen, the front seven showed out. Like, I mean, they dominated the
Defense.
trenches as we thought they would. But I want to talk a little bit about the secondary too, because if you were going to tell me walking into that game that Lad McConkey, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson would have a total of 8 catches for 80 yards between the three of them, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Right.
Those, I mean, so a lot of those sacks were coverage sacks.
hmm
How do you think the secondary did?
Um, I mean, we knew this already about him, but Christian Gonzalez is a real deal. Like, because obviously we hadn't seen him in the playoffs yet. And unfortunately, he got hurt later in the game, so hopefully he's able to come back, next week. Um, but he's real. Woodson is real. And once again, remember we were questioning how you let go of Doug and Peppers. How do you do that? Well, between Woodson and Hawkins, like they're they've become a really good tandem. Um, and Carlton Davis has done enough. Once again, I have not been a supporter. Um,
Yeah, me neither.
I'm still on the fence with him. Um, maybe he'll have a Gilmore against Jacksonville moment later in the playoffs. Um, which will turn the tide for a lot of us when we think about him. But we'll see. But yeah, second day was great. Because because that's the ultimate confidence when you say, okay, we're sending four, we're putting you in man and saying, hey, guard your yard. Like, trust us to get there, but if we don't get there, we need you to be on them like white on rice. And they were. And like I said, Woodson made great plays. Marcus Jones stepped in a slot and made some decent plays. I thought that play that Jones had on Herbert, I forget what quarter it was, but Herbert most times will score on a play like that.
Yep.
You know,
I
Marcus
think that was the second, right?
second, yeah. So yeah, Marcus Jones bridges him, hits him underneath, like kills the drive, and like people say, that's not gonna show up on the box score, but that's huge. The block that Henderson picks up on the Henry touchdown, huge, huge, huge.
Huge.
Um, the situational awareness is back because we've lost it for a few, even on the Bill, we lost it for a few years.
Oh yeah.
But the situational awareness is back, and um, they don't generally make the same mistake twice. They're disciplined. They play hard.
I mean, unless it's Drake Maye, and we should talk about that.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's do it.
Stats aside, I think when you look at the box score, right? Drake Maye, 17 to 29, 268, a touchdown, an interception, and two fumbles. He lost one of them. But the positive, let's start with the positive. In the second half, he was 11 to 14 for 173 yards and a touchdown.
Mhm.
So that's one of those things, those qualities that you can't teach, right?
Yeah.
Like we had all that 20 years of greatness, yes, but we also saw what the flip side of it was with the guy like Mac Jones, who if he didn't start fast and hot, he
Mhm.
was not he was not going to have a good game. Drake does take a little while to get started, but like you bet your ass that if you give him the ball in the second half, he's gonna go like he's gonna go out,
Yeah.
and he threw in the second half for more yards than Justin Herbert threw the entire game,
Game, right.
uh, and he looked really good doing it. The problem that I have with Drake May,
Mhm.
and not him, but with his game, and I said this to the group. He knew that the defense was swarming around him. The pocket was collapsing. He
Mhm.
pump faked and he saw that there were people around him. So instead of just going down and taking the sack, he tried to fucking throw it and strip sack. I mean, and then he did it again, but we were lucky enough to recover. So
Yeah.
like,
Hey, thank you, Jared Wilson. Thank you.
yeah, he can't do that against a team where it's not like again where if it's going to be a shootout, aka Buffalo, if we get to them,
Mhm.
um, that can't happen there. So how do you fix that?
Um, Reminding him that he doesn't have to be the hero. I think that just comes with him still being young. Um, and because he is that damn good, he believes he can make every play because more times than not he does.
Yeah,
So because he has the ultimate confidence in himself, it shows out in that way. Um, I was okay with the interception. It got tipped. Like that happened.
sure.
Guys are 6'5", like they're your height out there. It's crazy. 6'5", 6'6". So like that's gonna happen every now and then. Like you said, but the fumbles have to be corrected. Once again, we got on Rhamondre, which I would love to talk about him in a minute too.
Yep.
We got on him about the fumbles, and thankfully he's turning it around. But you can't be Tiki Barber out there. Like
Right.
I can't. We can't do that. Um, but with Drake, like I said, outside of those fumbles, he generally doesn't make the same mistake twice. Generally,
He does make this, but he does make the same mistake twice regarding that because we've talked about
yes,
that.
okay,
Like
yeah,
Pittsburgh, and in
mhm.
that game this year, like he fumbled what 4 or 5 times, 4 times.
Yes, yes. I do think, and once again, I think obviously, you're waiting to make a play. Um, I do think they can scheme a little bit better. Like once again, it depends on who they're facing next week. And obviously, it'll either be Pittsburgh or Houston. Um,
Go Steelers.
right, yeah, because like I said, it's only Hayward up front, and I'm like, okay, cool. Um, Like, and obviously TJ Watt's TJ Watt, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So, um, defensively, this is not the steel curtain walking through the door. I was funny, I was just talking to someone about that off the air. I was like, this is not even, I said, this run right now reminds me of '01. Um, because, you think about, they won the division, obviously. Now granted, at that time you could still get a bye being a 2 seed, but they come in there, when you beat Oakland. That Oakland team was stacked, right? Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, Tim Brown, Charlie Garner, um,
Bill Romanowski.
yeah, Bill Romanowski, right? Charles Woodson, you know what I'm saying? So had a team, and they find a way to get it done. But back to Drake, I just like to say he definitely has to get things together when it comes to ball security. Because when he does, because I'm not gonna say if, when he does, look out.
Right. Because to your point, like I do think I don't think it's more so that he feels like he has to be the hero. I do think he believes he can make any play. Like he can make any play that's put in front of him. So what I would say to that is if the pocket's folded around you
Mhm.
and like you can't tuck it and run, just drop because you have enough talent on the
Mhm.
next down to overcome whatever adversity was just put in front of you.
Right,
Right?
right, right,
Like save
exactly.
it, save that, and that's the little chink, chink in his armor right now.
Mhm.
And again, you turn the ball over at the 20-yard line, like your own 20-yard line, against a competent playoff quarterback, which Herbert is not. Um, your team's gonna make you like that team's gonna make you pay, and you got lucky out of this.
Right.
Um, talking about while we're talking about quarterbacks, and then we'll go to the running back game. Um, I just want everyone at home or in the car on the run, where the fuck you're listening to this podcast, to know everything I've ever said about Justin Herbert is true. Everything, everything. He is a guy who can put up a fuck ton of stats. He always does. But in the playoffs, he folds. This man blew a 27 point. Now, not just him, but he was part of a team that blew a 27-point lead to Jacksonville. He
Mhm.
then went into Houston last year and threw four, not one, not two, not three, four interceptions to get slaughtered. And it's always the same. The excuses that I was making at the start of the show. Everyone's hurt. He feels like he has to do it by himself. I'm
Mhm.
here to tell you, we've seen this story before. He is not the guy that will win you a championship. He isn't. Now, might he win a championship? Yeah, Trent Dilfer has one. So that's not the same thing. But he's not the guy that's going to win you one. And I'm doing this in front of you because I want it to be out in the open that if you had a gun to my head, say uh, Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson, I would pick Lamar Jackson 11 times out of 10. Not even close. It's not close. I would
Yeah.
pick Dak Prescott over Justin Herbert, the black Kirk Cousins. So Herbert Herbert is what Peyton was before he won. He is what Philip Rivers minus the playoff victories, because Philip at least he could get you to the AFC title game. Uh, but yeah, I'm not
Well,
out on Herbert. I'm
I
just
mean,
here
if
to
that's
tell you that
yeah,
I'm right about him.
if that's the case though, do you move on from him? I know they just gave him a deal, but do you move on from him?
No, no, I think you accept the fact that he's a guy that's gonna play you and your team into a spot to make the playoffs, and then
Mhm.
once you get into the playoffs, you better have a great defense, or a great running back, because maybe the LA Chargers are the anomaly where I say a running back will never win you a Super Bowl, even
Right,
though Saquon just did.
right, correct. Yeah. Obviously situations matter. Obviously coaching matters, but situations matter too. Um, like I think about what Seattle's doing right now, with Sam Darnold, but obviously their defense is elite. If you put Herbert on there, do they also get 14 wins? Could I believe so? I think they do. Um,
Yeah, I think they get 14 regular season wins
yeah.
for sure. Then what happens in the playoffs?
Well, right. We've seen him fall short. We've seen obviously Sam Darnold fall short. We've seen Lamar and others fall short. but at the same time, it's like even um I don't know. It's just like even though Lamar hasn't always made the plays, I feel like Lamar is someone that, like you said, you trust to make at least a couple of plays that could put you in position to say, all right, go win the game. But he can't control someone that catching a 2-point conversion or a fumble at the goal line. Like that's different, right? Um, with Herbert, the throws he was making or not making, I should say, it was like, where was you throwing it to? Was your receivers at Red Robin? Was they at the lighthouse? Like
Right.
where were they? Because you were just throwing it all over the place. But he was uncomfortable all night. And it's obvious that it's in his head. Because you can't tell me he wasn't thinking, man, got a rookie. I mean, I got a second year guy here. Like, he's good, but it's like we should come in here and beat them. Um, but not having Amari on Hampton, really, he basically was, LT from 2007. For those that remember, he sat on the sideline for most of that game. After crying about how classless we were the year before, but then didn't come out and play. I'll never forget that. But yeah, Marion Hampton was on the sideline, and I was thinking, hey, that's someone I want to hear because he played with Drake, so I thought that he'd be um what Travion Henderson's become. But I'm thankful for Henderson too, obviously. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks that yeah, like I said, as currently constructed, you're 100% right. That he is not the individual that that he's supposed to be.
And also, like his top two targets for wide receivers are clearly such indoor wide receivers, right? I mean, and we found that out big. I mean, Dave had to learn it the hard way because his team paid Keenan Allen last year, and I mean, he was nothing. Like he always has been Herbert's binky for sure. Like he's really good in domes. He's really good in warm weather, but cold weather, man, and obviously he's later in his career, but it was just so obvious. So. I felt like if I was here to tell you that I was right about Justin Herbert, that it's only fair that I say that I was wrong about Rhamondre Stevenson.
Hmm.
Um, because listen, the 4 or 5 fumbles, what was it? Was it 6 fumbles in the last 2 seasons? Like by like week 3 of this year, where I was like, listen, I don't know why they're not playing Trevion. I don't understand it. And then when Rhamondre was out and Trevion went off, I was like, this is awesome. Like I never want Rhamondre to see the field again. But boy, am I glad that he did because last night he accounted for 128 total yards, 53 on the ground, 75 through the air, and he's really just emerged as someone that you can trust. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that every time that I see a defender rushing towards him, I don't still wince and say, hold on to the ball. It's still there. But yeah, I was wrong about him. And I think if he didn't just play his way into a longer contract with the Patriots, he definitely is playing his way into a higher paid contract elsewhere.
So him turning into LeGarrette Blount 2.0 was not on the bingo card because that's what's
No.
happening. Um,
Yep. It's a good call.
I didn't. If that's the case, they may be hoisting the trophy up in February because what he's been able to do as a receiver, forget about him running the football. What he's been able to do as a receiver, running the Madden play called the halfback angle, running angle routes, running a stop and go like he did in week 18 against Miami. Like, are you kidding me? Running it better than receivers and so obviously, we were I was probably one of the biggest supporters of him when he came out here on the team. It was me and Joe initially. But obviously we'd all fell off the bandwagon. But I still was like, you need him. You need him. He was like, oh, let it go, Ray. I'm like, no, like you need this guy. I said, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I said you need him. And he's gonna show it somewhere, but you need him. And now we're and you know how I feel about the run game anyway. So I'm it's harder for me to give up on that than it is for the passing. Um, I was just like a guy that big, that strong, and you play outside, you need him to offset what Henderson can do. And now you have the two-headed monster again, and um, he was awesome yesterday. And I don't see any signs of that slowing down, really. I'm with you though. Definitely his heart attack season when he's still rushing to the ground. Um, but the fact that, like I said, for him to turn into Blunt 2.0 in a 5 week span, um, and maybe because he's fully healthy. Remember, he had an ankle injury. Maybe he's fully healthy now.
Yep.
That changes things. Once again, 3 years ago, the man had 1,000 yards. So it's not like he's incapable of carrying the load in that regard. Um, but we just had to see it. And the ball security has to be the number one thing. And that seems to be occurred for the time being. So I love what I see, and I hope that it continues.
Yeah, we know. Listen, under a previous regime, he would have never seen the field again after the fumbles, right? And I would have been proven right at the beginning. But all of that to say, to have a coach that still believes in you when things aren't going well, and you're hurt and your backup comes in and just lights the world on fire, and then
Right.
you come back and you're still splitting time with him, just like you were before you left. Um, that vote of confidence from Vrabel has absolutely settled Rhamondre Stevenson for sure. And now he is a dual threat. And talking about, I mean, he's definitely teaching Henderson how to block, because that block that Travion put up to seal the game on that touchdown throw to Hunter Henry was absolutely, like, that was surgical. And
Yeah.
instantly when you saw the guy spin around, you're like, I looked, I'm like, was that Rhamondre? And then they showed that it was Henderson. I'm like, damn, he's been
Yeah.
putting in the work.
Yeah. And right. And that's where, yeah, because like I said, obviously Stevenson picks up blocks really well too. In the past game. So yeah, like that, I think that's just been a thing up here, whether from the Antoine Smiths, the Kevin Falks, the J.R. Redmonds, the Lawrence Maronis, Danny Woodheads,
You forgot about the law firm.
yeah, the law for, yeah, right. That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. Um, but it's just been a thing. So hopefully they can have another year or two together. Because once again, Stevenson's only 27, and like he's 34. So yeah, I think that was special. But to go off the thing from Henderson, right? Um, Remember the play before, May had missed Hooper on a similar play, right? And this is what I'm talking about the bounce back ability. Misses Hooper wide open, you know, wide open,
Yep.
misses him. The next play, not 3 or 4 plays later, the next play, they send the house, it gets picked up properly, throws a dime, not a waffler, not a, he throws a dime to Hunter Henry. Um, um, who that's another person. I'm not sure if we thought he was going to be what he became here either, but Hunter Henry's been awesome since he's been here. Once again, hasn't been a world beater, but has been consistent. And like just happy to see that he was the one that sealed the deal against his former team. So that was awesome.
Yeah, love that. And again, I was wrong about Hunter Henry all those years ago. Like when that free agent day was that 2021,
Yeah.
I was like, no, he's made of glass. He always gets hurt. Turns out of the two that they signed to big deals that day, he's been our best offensive weapon
Yeah.
throughout this transitional
Yeah.
reboot.
But to be fair, you never called him a scrub. You just said you're cautious.
Great.
Healthy.
Yeah, he
So
always gets hurt.
right, but I'm saying, but like, I can see if he was like, man, that sucks. And it's like, no, like, it just, um, so which is that's a valid reason to think that something's not going to pan out, someone's not going to pan out. Um, but him and Bourne at the time were initial hits. Um, Once again, I like Bourne because I just felt like when you have that type of attitude, um, like seems like he wanted to be here, and he wanted to be still a part of something even when they weren't great. Um, because ironically, I thought he would have did numbers here with Drake, the way Drake was playing. I think he'd have been great here, but um, I can't,
Yeah, but if that was
I can't argue
looking
with
back on
that.
that now,
Yeah,
like if that suppressed Keyshawn Booty's emergence again,
right.
like
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I was thinking, but see, I don't see Hayshawn Booty as a slot. Um, to me, I was like, it's Kyle Williams is basically essentially replaced Bourne. Um, I was just thinking just to keep the veteran talent for another year, and then if you want to dismiss them, then so be it. But um, just to give Drake another veteran option. But like I said, Diggs has been great. The whole receiving core in general has been really good. Um,
which is so wild to say.
yeah, it is. 'Cause it just shows what a difference a couple of years can make. But just an early hot take next week. I think next week will be the Pop Douglas game.
All right,
Let's-
so going to next week, obviously, right? We are recording this before the start of the Pittsburgh Houston game, so on Monday, January 12th. Um, who do you? I mean, again, I don't want to fall into the trap that the LA Chargers fell into, right? And say like I'm going to look past, whoever. Uh, who would you rather play? It has to be Pittsburgh, right?
Um, well, to me, it don't matter for next week. The AFC Championship
Oh,
next week it doesn't matter. I think they're better than both teams, personally.
oh, so you are looking past next week's opponent
No,
already.
I'm saying I think they're better than I'm saying they're better than both of these teams. So you say who do I rather face? I'm like, it doesn't matter because to me they're better than both. Um, but from a watchability standpoint, if that's even a word, um, I want Pittsburgh. I don't. Every time we have faced Houston in the playoffs, I get bored. Every time, every time, because it's been belt to ass every time. Shout out to Michael Herbert. Every time it's been belt to ass.
Well, that was the Billy O'Brien. Uh,
Didn't matter. They played them 3 times. They played them 3 times in the playoffs, right? 3 times.
did we ever play them with Deshaun as quarterback?
That's the last time I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think 2018, 2019, 20, no, 2017. 2017, I think they faced them one last time. Yeah, because we had Cooks. So yeah. Yeah, yeah. That was the last time. And that's the Deion Lewis went crazy that game. Yeah. So I get bored because the game's over at halftime usually. Um
Yeah, but they didn't. I mean, they didn't have
they're not gonna say CJ Stroud
defenses like
was
this.
Deshaun Watson at that time. At that time. Once again, what he is now, whatever. But CJ Stroud's not better than what Deshaun Watson was at that time. Um
Sure, but
we got
D'Amico Ryan has that defense playing. I mean, this is the
Oh,
best
they're
iteration of the
great.
Texans
They're great.
defense that we've ever seen. They don't have the star power. Like they don't have the
I was
Vince
gonna say, I'm like,
Wilfork and
I mean, I guess
J.J.
combined, you
Watt.
say they're better than JJ Watt combined, but I'm like, man, JJ Watt was something.
I mean, that year that they had Watt, Clowney, and Wilfork. Yeah, that
Yeah,
line was unbelievable, but they didn't have a secondary.
right. Yeah, I mean, Stingley's an all pro. Um, I mean, shout out to Nick Casario. He's done a phenomenal job rebuilding that team down there. Um, but like I said, I don't know. Yes, defensively, they are everything their coach was as a player. They play hard. Um they're disciplined on defense. Um and quite frankly, I'm not trying to relive the Ice Cube meme from Boys in the Hood saying y'all ever seen a dead body. I don't want to see Drake on the ground unless he's scoring a rushing touchdown. I don't want to see, hey, y'all ever seen a dead body? I don't want that. So I'd rather see because Daniil Hunter is a problem. Will Anderson is a problem. And I acknowledge that. I'm not gonna say anything otherwise. Um, but do I think that a healthy Gonzalez with Hawkins, Woodson, and Davis could shut down Nico and Dalton Schultz and um I forget who else the number two receiver, I forget. But um like the boys from Iowa State, Higgins and oh my gosh, and Noel.
I mean, Higgins has been pretty good this year.
He
Like
is,
he's had
yeah,
he's
yeah.
had a pretty good
He's
year.
someone I was thinking of because he was right there. They all went in a row. They went right in a row. And I mean, granted, he didn't well actually he was there at 38. And I was just like, he's just there. You go get Higgins from Iowa State. Go get him. Now, granted, they had Kyle Williams on the radar, so that's why they must have passed. But I'm just like, Higgins is there at 38. What are we doing? And then it was like, oh, they're getting a running back. I was like, okay. But then seeing who the running back was, I was like, okay, fine. But I'm just like, Higgins was there, and you need a threat with your guys because this is before we knew where Diggs was going to be. What he became this year. But we should have known in the offseason because the way he was cutting and moving early on, it was like if he stays healthy, he's going to be okay at the least. But
The way he was cutting that pink powder and moving it all around, it was just you just knew. You just knew. You know what I mean? You just knew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like it is what it is. But I don't know. From a rivalry standpoint, from a like getting the chance to send
Aaron Rodgers
this
home.
home
I
field
know.
excites me.
I
So
know.
I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna say I don't care for the Houston matchup. Once again, it'd be cool, whatever, because that means we're playing whoever. But give me the chance to send Omar Epps and Aaron Rodgers home for good.
It's wild because I just couldn't say that. It's just wild that you can say that shit. It's wild. That's wild. Um, it's true though. It's true. Like I can't say. I'm not saying what you
It's
said is
damn true,
true.
right?
No. I'm not saying that. No. Listen, I think matchup wise, Houston poses a bigger threat specifically because in that instance, I feel like our offensive line is a lot like the Chargers' offensive line against that defensive front.
Right.
Um, so like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Now,
Nice.
and I don't like again. If we keep winning, I don't care about beating tomato cans. And I think the Steelers' brand of offense is so fucking one dimensional
Mm.
that it's like okay, like put Gonzo on DK with a little help if you need to put him over the top, and then you're done. You're done. You're not gonna get beat by Adam Thielen.
So you know what? It's funny. I would put Carlton Davis on him.
Or you want to get lit up?
No, I'm saying I would do that with the over the top help, and then you just have Gonzo roam wherever, like whether it's Calvin Austin, whether it's Thielen. Um,
Yeah, but it feels like when he's
that's
healthy, right? Gonzo, like he gets off on
he's that
shutting
guy.
down the number
Yeah,
one.
he's that guy.
Now
Hey, thank you, Bill. In that regard, thank you, Bill. Thank you.
DK did burn him 2 years ago in that game. Oh, was that Geno Smith?
I
That
mean,
65-yard touchdown?
the dude is he's like 6'3", 6'5". Like, dude, I mean, dude should be modern day To. He should be. He should be
Yeah.
not, but he should be. Because he's built like that. Um, but To was just a different guy. I was about to say Ti was different too, but but To was a different guy. Um, but yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like Carlton Davis is a little bit bigger. Um, is he bigger than Gonzo? No, he's bigger than Gonzo, but um, I'd put David. Because remember that's what Bill would do too. Bill would put the number two guy on the number one, but with over the help. Like that's what I would do, and then just have the number one roam. But I think Gonzo's that good that wherever you put him, slot, right corner, left corner, don't matter. Like it's curtains. Um, and this is not Minnesota Thielen. Calvin Austin is not a proven commodity, even though I trust that Pittsburgh knows how to develop wide receivers, so I think he could be good in
Yep.
a few seasons. Um, I like Kenneth Gainwell. I do.
Yep.
Out of Memphis. Um, he is someone I wanted here a few years back. I don't know if he's a free agent or not, but I feel like if they don't go back to Gibson, um, I feel like he'd be a really good replacement for Antonio Gibson next year, in my opinion. If he's a free agent, because he won't cost much. But yeah, no, but just from a rivalry, from a um every game that we've had with Pittsburgh outside of the 2016 AFC Championship game has been a joke. Has been close, I should say, because 2016
Right.
was a joke, but everything else has been close. So
Yep.
I
All
wrap
right.
it.
So let's fast forward to January 18th. It's Patriots taking on the Steelers. They come
Mhm.
into Foxborough. What's the final score of that game?
So if the Steelers come, I'll say 27-20. Um,
I was gonna say 27-13.
oh, okay. I just think that if there's anyone that, like, and we've seen at times, can just get up one more time and still deliver a performance, even if it's losing, is Aaron Rodgers. So that's why I give him, out of respect, I give him 20 points. But we're not sitting here and cry about them scoring less than 20. That'd be great. But if Houston wins, um, I'll say 24-17.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's Houston, it's gonna be like 23-20.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be close. All right, well, we're an hour in, and we got to cover the rest of the NFL here. So wild card round, uh, Bills Jaguars. Josh Allen was able to do something that he's never been able to do in the history of his career so far, and orchestrate a fourth quarter comeback win against the
Oh, true, yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, I think he was he was kind of what he needed to be this game, right? 28 of 35, 273 a touchdown, and then two scores on the ground with 33 rushing yards. Like he was their offense.
Mhm.
And fourth quarter, game on the line, three, they're down by 3 points, last drive of the game. And Trevor Lawrence throws a pick. He is what I say he is too.
Yeah, that they I felt like Jacksonville didn't miss Travis Hunter until yesterday.
I agree with that. I was actually going to say Parker Washington's seven
He
catches for
was awesome.
107
He was
yards.
great. He was awesome. He was
Like
awesome.
the emergence of him and like let's say Travis Hunter's in there and
Yeah.
Brian Thomas isn't playing like he forgot how to catch a football. That's a pretty formidable offense.
Yeah, correct. And then obviously Etienne has been really good too at times. I do think given your stance on Trevor Lawrence, like clearly you're not alone in that thinking, right? So let me not make it seem like you're on an island with that. But um, given that he has moments of where he forgets to play quarterback, right? Or how to play, I should say. Excuse me. They were running really well with Etienne and Tootin. It was really well. You would think,
Yeah,
okay, little change of pace.
keep running it.
Keep 17 off the field for a little bit. Let him enjoy the breeze of Jacksonville, Florida. Shout out to Atlantic Ave. Let him enjoy that. But you don't. And Liam Cohen thought that, he was back at Clemson. Once again, this is Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. They might win by 10. Because
Oh yeah.
that guy was special. Um, but I guess, it's easy to get ruined by Urban Meyer and some others. But yeah, this is what Clemson Trevor Lawrence. So yeah, he showed his colors in the NFL thus far. And
But it's such a good point by you, dude.
Mhm.
It's such a good point by you. You have 14 rushes for 118 yards between your two running backs, and you decide, you know what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But part of that is psychological, and that is the aura around Josh Allen. Like you feel like every time you have the ball, you have to score because you think that he's just going to try and outpace you.
Yeah, but
But
that's true
your
though.
coaches need to get over that.
No,
Like
sure, but there's nothing wrong with that thinking. Even in the playoffs, getting three is better than getting zero.
I know,
So
yeah,
even if you're running it and they still stop you with like third and three at the 15, they stop you and it's fourth and one at the 12, and you don't want to go for it, you kick the field goal, cool, no problem. Because their kicker was making it from 85 yards. Like it's not a problem, it's fine. Um, but they just chose to give it up. But what I will say, because I was waiting to get to this game, I absolutely love how that reporter spoke to Liam Cohen after the game. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought that was um
he's classy.
it was just beautiful. It was awesome to hear her speak to him like that because clearly obviously, he's had a great first season, like she said. Um, but she stripped away the football stuff. It was like just spoke to the man. And I like I said, just I thought that was great. Because once again, in the world that we clown and we troll and we say someone sucks when they really don't, and we're armchair quarterbacks. Like I thought that was beautiful that she spoke to him, to the man, and not just the coach. And I just thought that was great. So I wanted to put that out there. But needless to say, learn from your mistakes, Coach Cohen. Put the ball in your running back's hands. Have a balance. Because Trevor Lawrence, once again, had good moments throughout the season and yesterday, but knowing the balance of like, okay, my quarterback may not have it on this drive or these drives consecutively. Let me mix up the play calling and then give it back to him. Um, if need be. But
Right.
he'll learn.
I'm with you there. All right, so now the six seed Bills travel to Mile High to play the first seed Broncos next week. Uh, what do you think happens in that game?
I think that Bo Nix is in for a rude awakening.
Me too. Me
Um,
too.
I think that he's once again, they remind me of the mid 2000s, I mean mid 2010 Saints, right?
Yeah.
And ironically, who's their coach, right? But they're gonna slice you up, they're gonna score on you, and they're gonna do enough on. Now, granted, now this defense is better than the defense that they had in New Orleans. Let me be clear. Surtain alone is just different. Way better than Jabari Greer, better than Darren Sharper, all the boys that came through there, right? Way better. Um, but this defense has not faced Josh Allen like in the playoffs. And regardless of what, yes, we know he hasn't got it done yet. Um, they just got the monkey off their back, in the words of Steve Young, by by winning on the road for the first time since '93 when they went to the Super Bowl. And there's a great hip hop song that says, this is how we do it from '93 till. So from '93 to now, they're like, hey, we're starting to figure it out. I think Josh Allen lights them up next week. I mean, in a major way. So I think they come out swinging, and before they know it, they might be down 21. I just really do. And I understand
As a
it's been a problem. I really do, but I just think sometimes, things just align for you. And I think that I remember when this is a little different because the team is not as good, but or no, well, no, they're about the same. Like, I remember when Andrew Luck and them came into Denver. This is what that feels like. And Andrew Luck did whatever he wanted against that Denver team. I feel like
Yep.
I feel like that's what's about to happen because Josh Allen is similar to Andrew Luck in that regard. So yeah, look out.
So what I'll say is, 'cause I do feel like Buffalo's going to win this game. I do think that it could be something along the lines of they're down 17 points in the second quarter, and then Josh Allen just scores on 5 consecutive drives, and you wake
Crazy.
up like you look and it's 35-17. And but as a Patriot fan, right? What would you rather have happen? Would you rather have happen? Josh Allen has now won 2 in a row in the playoffs. He had a fourth quarter comeback. Assuming that we win our game against Pittsburgh or Houston, would you rather Josh Allen come into Foxborough, or would you rather go to Mile High and play against Bo Nix?
Um,
Again, assuming we win, not saying that we're
right,
going
no,
to,
no,
but
right, exactly. No, funny, it's right because ironically, if Brady was our quarterback, I'd have said I want Buffalo to come into here because Denver had been a house of horrors. We don't know that for
yep,
yet. So he could come into Denver and light them up. Um, they're undefeated on the road, and you know how I feel about teams that can get it done on the road. Um, so that'd be intriguing, but I'd rather break Josh Allen's heart and not get to the Super Bowl. The competitor in me rather break his heart. I don't care about Bo Nix. Bo don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. Shout out to Nike. Shout out to Bo Jackson. Bo knows nothing. Um,
yeah, you better Bo leave that.
yeah, sure, right. Exactly. I just yeah, I'd rather break Josh Allen's heart. And there's
All right, so as it happens right now in the AFC, you have Buffalo coming into New England for the AFC title game, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Hopefully, that those. Hopefully, the Patriots just keep winning. Right, that's the goal.
yeah, no matter who do you play,
Um,
survive
right,
the
just
game.
keep winning. Just keep winning. NFC. I mean, I think there was one boring game, I would say. Well, out of the big games, there was one boring game, and it was the Eagles 49ers. If you had to rank all the three of them, because I thought Rams Panthers was surprisingly uh, like
I
an
saw that
awesome
coming.
game.
Saw that coming because it was
I mean,
easy to
uh,
overlook Carolina. It was going to be easy.
sure, a close game, yeah, but 34-31. Like Bryce balled out.
Right, but just like how we talked about Parker Washington a few moments ago, well, actually, both Jalen Coker, shout out to Holy Cross. Wow, Jalen Coker was phenomenal on Saturday. Um,
Sure was.
Ted
Nine
McMillan,
for 134.
right? Ted McMillan, who matter of fact, I would have been 3 for 3. Remember, I said Drake May. We're gonna get him. I said I said Will Campbell. And remember early on, I was like, he had like a 300-yard game, like early on. I was like last year, I was like, if he's there, you take him because
I know. I know.
he's Mike Evans 2.0. And so, I'm like, okay, but he's yeah, like he's good. He's gonna be good, and he looks like Mike Evans 2.0. And I'm like, I was like, that's tough. That's tough. But yeah, they grew up a little bit on Saturday. That's why I like to see a young team make the playoffs. I like to see who's gonna show that they are made for that moment. Um, Bryce shouldn't be scared of the moment because it's like, dude, playing in Carolina is not more crazy than playing in Alabama. It's just not. It's just keeping it
Right.
pros are not. When you got people out with the shotgun outside saying, "Hey, you better win this game, boy," like it's a little different. So period. It's like it's like a roll tide. Like it's a little different, little scarier. So, so oh my God, straight definite tape. No, but seriously,
I also can't say that, but go ahead. Continue.
no derogatory words were used in that description. It's okay. It's all right. And once again, it's you and me on here. Like, anybody.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
we was
But
watching somebody
hopefully
else,
it's not just you.
if we was watching
Hopefully it's
somebody
not just you
else.
and me listening to this, though. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
sure,
Like,
no, for
hopefully
sure.
it's a
But
broader audience.
if we were watching someone else and they were saying that, and I'd have been like, not knowing their dynamic, I'd have been like, But people that listen to us, that know us, this is not out of the order.
Well,
This is what we do. So it's okay. They'll be fine. But yeah, no, Carolina was awesome. Once again, people were, they couldn't get, Matt Stafford's meat out their mouths after that drive, but he was really good. He was really good when it mattered. And
of course. I mean, he did have an
live in advance.
MVP performance. 24 of 42, 304, three touchdowns to pick. But that touchdown he threw to Parkinson, where he put it where only that guy could catch it. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
big boy throw.
I mean, no, but listen, he's the guy, he's who I wanted to replace Brady. So I love Matthew Stafford. And I hate the fact that I have been pinned against him. Um, just to support Drake Maye. Because Matthew Stafford is awesome. He is by far my non-favorite Patriot, like by far. Um, like I just it sucks, but it's just like, dude, like you're throwing to Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. If he was doing this with, his former teammates, like if we did this with like Tatis Young and like a Brandon Pettigrew, okay, all right. I'd be like, you know what? I give it to you, big dog. For the success of 8 picks, okay, all right. But Puka and Devontae, and you got Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, and come on, come on, come on. And Higbee, come on. Ridiculous.
Well, they overcame weird odds. I mean, that I never saw that was going to happen with Carolina to go on and face the next team that we're going to talk about, and that's DK Sizzle's Chicago Bears. Now, for all those that are listening out there, if you have not listened to the emergency reaction show that Mr. and Mrs. Sizzle did after that game, I recommend it because it was awesome. An awesome show, but an awesome game. 21-3. And DK was pulling the whole they're out of it. This game's over. They need to clean house and rebuild the defense next year. And you and I, who I would argue are probably the most pessimistic individuals in that chat,
Mhm.
we're both saying, like, this isn't you, dude. Don't give up on them.
Right, right.
And Caleb Williams decided to say, fuck you.
Mhm.
This is now my division,
Right.
and you're not going to come into Soldier Field and beat me. And went on to have a massive second half, but 24-48, 361, two touchdowns, two interceptions. But that that throw at the end, the Jordan pose, I mean, unbelievable. So what were your thoughts watching that game?
Um, Special team, special season. And I've been saying it the last few weeks. I told him that a few weeks ago on the show, where he was like, "Oh, you guys are pumping us up." You are, but I'm like, as is anybody that knows what a special team looks like, it's us. um, and it just feels like that right now. Now, the biggest thing, he can't keep getting by me and Caleb Williams with throwing for 50%. Like that,
No.
you gotta at least get to 60, right?
Yeah,
But if you're still making the spectacular plays, when it matters, then so be it. But yeah, it's like wow. But no, That was insane. I fell asleep towards the end because I was like, all right, it was a nice little valiant effort, 27, 16, great, it was cute. And I woke up to like go to the bathroom and get water like 5 a.m. And I'm seeing like they literally have a range of emotion from like, all right, just leading to, oh my God, Kalen Williams is God. And I'm like, what are you talking? I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh my God, they came
They did it.
and won. I said, oh my God. I said that is unbelievable. So, crazy, crazy.
I'm gonna put it out there
Mhm.
so that Dave can crucify me for this, but Green Bay didn't lose that game because of Jordan Love. Jordan Love was 24 46 for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns, no picks.
Mhm.
I, I, he did not lose that game for them.
Right.
However, he didn't win it for him like Caleb did.
Yeah. I mean, Matt LaFleur should be gone. Should be. And the fact that they're looking to work out a deal for him is comedy to me. Um, that can't happen, bro. That can't happen. Can't be up that.
No, I mean with Harbaugh out there,
Yeah.
with even McDaniels with an actual good quarterback and good offense, I think he could be a really good head coach. Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you keep this guy?
So speaking of McDaniel, I think he even though I'm not the biggest fan, I think he would do good in Baltimore.
Yeah.
You put him with Lamar, give him a type of running because once again, he clearly likes to run the ball. You see what Devin Chain did. Like you give him something like that, like it might be a little different. But well, I say different, like they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they win it, but they make the playoffs. Which that saves jobs nowadays. Just make the playoffs, get there, make us look good, get more playoff revenue and money. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, what's your take on Jordan Love in this game? Because obviously he didn't win it.
I was being the drum, banging the drum for Jordan Love early on. Um,
Oh, me too. I've had to redact that too.
yeah, which I did too. But I mean, like you said, he had a game similar to what he did against Dallas a couple years ago, where he lit them up on the road and almost put 50 on them in their building. Um, I thought we were going to see more of the same yesterday. I thought I was like, okay. But from the play calling wasn't there in the second half. Um, and what happens is sometimes you play instead of playing to win, you play not to lose. And they played not to lose in that fourth quarter. And Ben Johnson and company said, okay, well, we're going to keep us in it. We're going to take advantage of it. And good, better, best took over. And yeah, they dominated.
So if you're Brandon McManus, you don't show your face around here ever again. You missed two kicks and then you missed an extra point. What's that? 7 points?
Yep. So Mason Crosby makes those.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
Mason Crosby makes those. And it's wild because McManus, I think won a Super Bowl with Denver, early on, or years ago, I should say. I don't know if he was on the team that lost to Seattle or the team that beat Carolina, but I know he was on one of those teams. And
Yep.
it's just like you've been there. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you scared at the moment. Um, just in
So
shit.
now you got the potential MVP of the league and the Los Angeles Rams coming into Soldier Field. Uh, what do you think?
Uh, it's funny 'cause I think when no, not this time around, but if I'm not mistaken, this is a matchup of the 1985 NFC Championship game, or even divisional round, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and Chicago beat them then to go on to the Super Bowl and obviously beat us. Um, I'm riding with Chicago.
Same.
I think they find a way to get it.
Now
Um,
their defense can't play the way that they played in the first half against the Rams.
right.
Like they have to act like they can't put up 25 points or 26 points in the second half. But listen, offense to offense, the Bears can compete with anybody.
Yes.
Like they can do it. It's just a matter of can that defense tighten up sooner, and if it does, yeah, I mean the Bears are 3.5 point underdogs at home. Give me that all day.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yep.
Also, I'm rooting for a Patriot Bears Super Bowl. Like I want that. There,
Same.
40 years
So,
later.
so yes, that's the sentimental thing, but just from you know, a parallel universe or whatever word you want to use, for us to beat the Rams and for us to get for Drake Maye Super Bowl, first of all, to come against the Rams, I mean, like you can't beat that. Um,
To beat the Rams three times in the Super Bowl in 25 years would be
amazing.
fucking ridiculous.
Yep. Because I mean, obviously they're going to get another one, but it's like for him to start against LA or against St. Louis and win, like it would. So to me,
Sure.
that would be a little more storybook, but um, I'm here for either matchup, obviously, because that means the New England's in the Super Bowl. Um, but there would be no other matchup I'd want to see against someone outside of Chicago or LA.
Yep. No, I'm with you. So I'm rooting for Chicago. And then I would say in the most boring game of the NFC games, which again, if you don't think it's boring, I whatever. I just felt like Eagles 49ers, Eagles that offense. I was trying to will them to just like actually run the ball against 49ers defense that had lost all of its horses and just give Saquon the chance to go north south, right? Stop with these little fucking options, and because if you need to, I mean, he can be that guy still. And they
Right.
just decided, nope, we're gonna do the little option play, and then we're gonna do 8 yard to the right sideline, 8 yard to the left sideline. I don't know what happened to Jalen Hurts this year. Um, I'm not as down on him as you are, but what I will say is for whatever reason, he decided that he was not going to throw down the middle of the field this year. He didn't. He
Right.
wouldn't do it. And I mean, Hollywood, you got AJ Brown dropping balls. You got Saquon dropping balls. The offensive line couldn't block, and then Kittle goes down, but CMC is still like when he's healthy, he is a fucking force.
So does he change your mindset on running backs? Because he is the offense. I don't care who else is on there. That man is the offense. Period. When you
Yeah, but
get
like
100 catches, 1,000 yards rushing, that man is the offense. It's unbelievable.
yeah.
It's unbelievable how good he is. Unbelievable. Really from day one. It ain't like, oh, he kind of grew into it. Like from day one, that man has been on a mission. And the fact that he has more catches than some Hall of Fame receivers is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I listen. I think there are exceptions to the rule.
Yep.
Uh, Christian McCaffrey has not won a Super Bowl yet, and I would
As
just say,
individual talent. I'm not talking about just as individual
well,
talent.
no, you said this. You changed my mind on running backs, and I said that if you're not going to win a Super Bowl with your best player being a running back, so maybe he'll change my mind. I mean, Saquon did last year.
Right.
Uh,
I mean,
but yeah,
I don't think San Francisco wins it, to be clear. But like I said, I just what he's been able to do, like you said, when healthy, like
yeah.
you,
That
you have to be special at that position, and he's been more of a special.
This was like a down game for him too. 6 catches, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 48 yards on the ground. Like that's a down game for him.
I mean, and what a throw from Jawan Jennings to find him in the end zone. They had definitely run that play before
Oh yeah,
in that game, in the championship game. Like I said, it sucks to see Kittle go down again. Um, that's another guy where I'm just like, man, it sucks that we're gonna remember him more from him getting injured than him being a distant third behind Gronk and Travis Kelce. 'Kay,
yeah,
healthy, he's in that conversation, but we just won't see enough of him, unfortunately.
yeah. I agree with that 100%. Um, spend give me your 15 to 30 seconds on the Eagles and their collapse. Like, do they blow it up? What happens now?
Um, I don't think they blow it up, but I do think AJ Brown is gone. Um, come on,
Hello,
come home, AJ.
come on.
Come home. Should have been that case anyways, but come home. Come home, play with a better quarterback. care about it. He won. I've told y'all. Yes, Jalen Hurts obviously clearly was good enough to win. We know that. Um, he's not the reason why they win. He wasn't last year. Once again, the game that he did really well in the Super Bowl, they lost in
because of a phantom pass interference call. You know that. You fucking know it.
for
He
sure,
left
for
the
sure.
field. He left the field with the lead.
Left, yeah. So did Brady in '07.
Right. Would you ever say that Eli Manning was a better quarterback than Tom Brady, even in Super Bowls? I wouldn't.
No, no.
Okay, so like, let's just be fair here.
I do think that Drake Maye is better than Jalen Hurts. So let's not let's be, and you know that too. So let's not
I'd
be
rather
crazy.
have Drake May.
Thank you. So it's okay to say it in a different way, but you know who's better. Um, I It'd be more fun to see them blow it up. Um, but I mean, why would you when they always get some random free agent, they always make a decent trade. Um, this is not the Ty Detmer Philadelphia Eagles that was coached by my cousin Ray Rhodes. Um, a lot different. A lot different. They always find someone to come there and play. So Harry Roseman will do what he needs to do, and they'll reload next year. They'll reload. Um, but AJ Brown will come home. It's time.
Love that. All right, so the final game that we need to predict, it would be the Seahawks 49ers divisional matchup. The 49ers travel to Seattle. I can't believe I'm saying this. I mean, I don't know if I would have
Do
Seattle
it.
as
Do it.
7-point favorites, but
Hmm?
they're gonna win that game.
Who's gonna win it?
Seattle.
Yeah. Say no. Say it confidently. It's okay.
Sam Darnold's gonna play well, and they're gonna win
Mhm.
that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, he looks different than he did last year. Even though, obviously,
I don't think that's true.
you don't think he looked better this year than he did last year?
No, I think he has a better defense this year because he did do Sam Darnold like things in 4 out of the last 5 games, and
Mhm.
they didn't lose those games because for whatever reason the defense just picked him up. But also like JSN is a problem. Like he is a
Right, but I'll
real
say, but is he better than Justin Jefferson?
no. He's better this
Yeah,
year. He is.
he's damn near duplicated what. I mean, obviously, Justin Jefferson played with, me and you at quarterback this year, so it's a little different. But um,
I mean, 1,700 yards catching.
crazy, crazy. And like I said, it's amazing what I mean. Ohio State just continue. It's unbelievable. Um, yeah, it's crazy. But yes, you're right. He's had some moments where you're like, okay, this is still the seeing ghost, Sam Donald. Um, I think his running game is better too. I think that helps, obviously. With Charbonnet, and Kenny Walker.
Kenneth Walker. Yep.
And then you have a JSN, you have I forget, I don't know what the tight end is, but you still got Old Man River and Cooper Cup. Um, I don't know. I was thinking at times I feel like he's looking better. At times. Um, but like I said, we'll see. We'll see come Saturday. But yeah, I'm with you. I think that Seattle wins on Sunday.
So then that will set up a Seattle versus Chicago. Can Chicago travel up to the Great Northwest and win? Who knows? We'll find out. But all we care about just to put a big fucking button on this, New England. It doesn't matter if it's Pittsburgh. It doesn't matter if it's Houston.
Mm.
Just win that game. Don't
Yeah.
overlook them. I would prefer Pittsburgh, but listen, if we can keep this Patriot train rolling for a couple more weeks, just hearing the collective shrugs and shrieks from the rest of the football world is all I need because nothing more I want to say than we're back if we make it to the Super Bowl, and that will just eat everyone
Oh,
alive.
I'll be insufferable. Forget about just getting back. If they mess around and win this in Drake's year too, um, be insufferable because like yeah, because I'm like because already even throughout the season I was telling people I'm like just when y'all thought it was safe, say they was buried and just out of there completely. They're coming back into your favorite team's houses and they're winning. And the moment that we had off the field allegations, I said, "Oh, we're back. We're back. We're back on top. Back on top. Back on top." So,
Right.
as long as no one's going underground, meaning getting killed, we're good. So I'm okay with everything else. Just don't do nothing stupid for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, just stay home.
Stay home, please.
Take a fucking Uber. But also, listening to Missing the Point, you can listen to us on all the apps that you stream all of your greatest podcasts and music. But until next time, Hollywood, Rayshawn, Buchanan. This is Michael Marcangelo. We'll talk to you next week.